The date soon to be announced. What happened to art? I mean, there's art on the screen. I get that, but
I'm sure that never gets old.
Sorry, I'm while we're getting ready to start here, I'm just finishing making a cup of coffee. I'm here.
Perfect. Hey, what a good idea. Do I have time for that?
Yeah, I'd like one as well, Art. Can you make that happen?
I just think it's funny that in art's space is a framed picture. That amuses me.
It'd be even better if it was just a matted art, the word art. Because then you could say he has a piece of art, named art, on his wall. Hey, woman.
That might be art.
Setting everything up.
Thank you.
I think he actually does have something that says art on his bookcase, if I'm remembering correctly.
I would not be surprised by that fact if that were to come to pass.
Well, all you really need is art.
Right here.
You gotta have art. Now we lost Liz. Good heavens. That coffee idea is apparently catching on.
Yeah, I just have to go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'll be right back.
I'm all set. Do we have a game code yet?
It's coming. Wilma setting it up now.
Thanks.
It's 147.
Hi, Wilma.
Hi. Let's see here. I'm trying to share my screen.
Are you getting an error of any kind or just not able to do it?
I think I'm going to have to jump out of Zoom and come back in.
Okay. We'll be here waiting for you.
Is the buzzer working for anyone else? It's not working for me.
I think it's because I had buzzed, and I don't know if it's. I guess it needs to be reset for others to be able to buzz.
Correct.
What's the code again? Sorry.
147.
I don't see the buzzer yet.
Correct. Womalin's working on sharing her screen.
Oh, all right. Fine.
Does everyone see the buzzer board?
Yep. Can you do me the one favor, Womalin, of in the browser itself, where the three dots are up on the right near the X, zooming out. So if you go to that and go zoom right in the middle there. Yeah. One more time. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we're all set.
And you're conducting the buzzer check?
It seems the people are conducting the buzzer check themselves.
Well, yeah, but you're the supervisor.
This is.
You don't get to walk away from this
responsibility. Oh yes, see, that's the beauty of this. That's exactly what I get to do. No, has everybody test buzz? I think it seems like we've seen the large majority. Got. Anybody else need to speak now? Forever hold your peace. Excellent. I think we are good, and we're actually right at 1:05, Bob. So look at that. We are ready to start right on time.
Well, let's get started. We've been waiting for this one a long time. The opportunity for one of these two teams, Knowledge Admissions or six people not named Stuart Kavinsky, to go up against the Bridesmaids, who are angling to belie their name for the first time and become the bride of this particular tournament. It's very, very exciting. The players all know how to play the game. You all know what we have to do. I would just ask the players two things. Please be conscientious about muting and unmuting, because that has slowed us down some. Unmute when I call on you and mute immediately when you're done with that. And also remember the 2 buzz per category maximum. Please don't buzz in it. That would be a terrible reason to lose points. and it's such an important match. Remember I'm out of the category thing, and I'll try to remind you as well. Captains, please, please remember in a steal opportunity, if any, I don't expect we're going to have many, but if any, please remember to say final answer so that if we listen to your consultation, which is great, we love that, I know what to react to, because when there's confusion about that, we've had a little trouble. Okay? The captains, for those of you watching, we have Kat for 6 people. That's the blue team. And Ethan for knowledge admissions. I wish both teams the very best of luck.
It doesn't look like Kat's on the scoreboard anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like we lost Kat on the buzzer.
Kat, can you test buzz? Yeah, it's just a caching thing. She's there.
It's a caching thing. So it's all caches, catch.
I actually did lose the room.
Yeah, if you happen to, if you're on your remember, if you're on your mobile and your phone goes to sleep, or if you don't interact with it, it can cause you to disconnect. If you see yourself disconnected in between questions, just raise your hand and we'll make sure that you are connected moving forward.
Okay, as a salute to the soon to retire Alex Trebek, I have a lot of French to overpronounce today, so let's get started. Our first category is patron saints. Patron saints for 1 point. Good luck, teams. Saint Valentine is the patron saint of these, which the world will always welcome. Kat?
Lovers.
Lovers are very special people. That is correct. 1 point for the blue team. That's 1 point. Oh, 1 point. Okay. For 2 points, patron saints. He is the patron saint of travelers and motorists. Give him a medal. Ethan?
Christopher.
St. Christopher is correct, and the red team is on the board for 2 points. Patron saints for 3. This biblical husband is the patron saint of carpenters. Art?
Joseph?
St. Joseph is correct for 3 points. Here we go for 4 points, patron saints. St. Vitus is the patron saint, Melanie?
Dancers.
Of dancers. That is correct. There's a reason they call it St. Vitus Dance. And finally, for 5 points, patron saints. These hospital employees have their patron in St. Agatha. Jean?
I married one, nurses.
You married a patron saint. 5 points for nurses is correct. And, we're going as per schedule. Lots of back and forth, everybody contributing. Our next category, Album of the Year Grammys. Album of the Year Grammys. Okay, for 1 point. 1983, this singer's Thriller. Gene.
Michael Jackson.
Correct, for 1 point. Album of the Year Grammys for 2. 1995. Her Jagged Little Pill. Ethan?
Alanis Morissette.
Yes, and a wonderful musical it made earlier this year. Coming to Broadway. Watch for it. It's terrific. For 3 points. 1979. His 52nd Street. Art?
Billy Joel.
Correct. And a triple stumper on the show, believe it or not. I think that puts you out of it. Am I right? No, Ethan was the previous one. So 1 each. Okay, my apologies. Okay, for 4 points. 1985. His No Jacket Required. Melanie.
Phil Collins.
Very good. And another triple stumper on the show. These people didn't know their music, but you do. Finally, for 5 points, Album of the Year Grammys. 2009, Her Fearless. Gene.
Taylor Swift.
That is right. Taylor Swift. Our next category, nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes. Going back a little bit for some of us, for a lot of us. For 1 point, he was a merry old soul. And a merry old soul, Dom?
Old King Cole.
Was he? Old King Cole is correct. 1 point for the red team. Nursery rhymes for 2. He said, what a good boy am I? Well, if he was so good, Gene.
Little Jack Horner.
Yeah, what was he doing in the corner? The question went on to ask. That is correct for 2 points. For 3 points in nursery rhymes. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over this. Dom.
The candlestick.
Is correct for 3 points. Nursery rhymes for 4. Mary Mary, who grows silver bells in her garden, is quite this. Liz?
Contrary.
She is contrary, opposite in position or character. That is right. Contrary is right. Finally, in the category of nursery rhymes. Okay. This little guy runs through the town. Upstairs, Gene?
Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Wee Willie Winky.
Say again?
Winky.
I have to hear the whole clue, the whole answer.
Wee Willie Winky.
That is right. Wee Willie Winky. Getting a lot of feedback and static on your line, Gene. So you got to pronounce, I think we'll be hearing from you again. You must pronounce very deliberately. Everybody should be doing that. Okay. At the end of the first half of the first round, we have the blue team, people not named Stuart K, 27. The red team, knowledge admissions, 18. Very close match. Our next category, the language of peace. The language of peace. For 1 point. Shalom. Gene?
Hebrew.
Is correct. The language of peace for 2. Salam. Art?
Arabic.
Is correct. For 3 points. Pax. Dom.
Latin.
Latin is right. For 4 points. Paz. Melanie.
Spanish.
Correct. For 5 points. Pay. Melanie.
French.
That is right. So much for that category. The next one's a little bit more prolix. The category is y'all from Georgia. Y'all from Georgia. For 1 point. Georgians Button Gwinnett, Lyman Hall, and George Walton all signed this document, Dom.
The Declaration of Independence.
In 1776. That is correct. The Declaration of Independence. For 2 points. From 1942 to 1961, it was the occupation of William Hartsfield for whom Atlanta's International Airport is named. Gene?
I think he was the mayor.
He was the mayor. And it was a triple stumper on the show, the mayor of Atlanta, William Hartsfield. Y'all from Georgia for 3. This Georgia native won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Gene?
Martin Luther King.
Dr. King is correct. Very, very many people forget that he was a Georgia native. Gene is out of this category for 2 more clues. And the first of them, for 4 points. This Georgia-born Secretary of State served under 2 presidents from 1961 to 1969. This Georgia-born Secretary of State served under 2 presidents from 1961 to 1969. Melanie.
Dean Rusk.
Dean Rusk is very good. A triple stumper on the show, and all 3 contestants got it wrong on the show. So that is very, very, very good. Okay, Dean Rusk is correct. Finally, for 5 points in y'all from Georgia. In 1540, this Spaniard became the first European to explore Georgia's interior. In 1540, Ethan.
Ponce de Leon.
That is incorrect. It's a break for the blue team. Blue team, you may consult on this for the 5-point clue. I'll repeat it. In 1540, this Spaniard became the first European to explore Georgia's interior.
We're going to say DeSoto.
Say again?
DeSoto.
What 2 words am I looking for?
I'm sorry?
I have to hear final answer, Kat.
Oh, okay. The final answer is DeSoto.
That is right. Hernando de Soto. Thank you. It's very important, Kat. We've had a lot of controversy because there's so much talk, so I got to have those two words. Thank you.
I understand. You won't hear our conversation, though, for future reference. So if I say something, that's our final answer. But I'll say that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Okay. That's so much for Georgia. And we're up to our final category in the first round. Sounds peachy. Yeah, cute, right? Sounds peachy for 1 point. This botanist is in the U.S. Inventors Hall of Fame for a variety of peach he developed, not his potato. This botanist is in the U.S. Inventors Hall of Fame for a variety of peach he developed, not his potato. Kat?
I'm going to guess Bosk.
Incorrect. A break for the red team. I'll repeat it. You may consult. This botanist is in the U.S. Inventors Hall of Fame for a variety of peach he developed, not his potato.
So the only potato I know of that is named for a person, I think, is russet, or at least it could be a person.
Yeah, let's just guess that. It's just 1 point.
Yep.
Final answer is russet.
That too is incorrect. No, the botanist in question is Luther Burbank. Luther Burbank.
That's a 1 point question.
Yes, sir.
My thoughts exactly.
It's not peachy, but somebody got it on the show. So what can I tell you? Okay, you never know. Sounds peachy for 2. That's why they have to norm these things. For 2 points. Available in 100 proof and 76 proof varieties. Kat?
Schnapps.
Incorrect. Another break for the red team. I'll read the entire question for the 2 points. Available in 100 proof and 76 proof varieties, this Southern potent potable is a peach flavored bourbon liqueur.
That's Southern Comfort, right?
Yeah. Southern Comfort.
Art, you're the cocktail guy.
That's 100% correct. There's no debating.
Okay.
Final answer, Southern Comfort.
Is right for 2 points. Okay, it was a bold try, Kat. What are you going to do? Okay, for 3 points in Sounds Peachy. The main European producer of peaches is this nation, growing vast, Melanie?
It's got to be Italy.
It is. The Campania region of Italy is correct for 4 points. And finally, that's for 3. I beg your pardon. That's for 3. Here we go for 4.
No, I'll take 4. It's great.
You'll have to get 4 on this next one. Here we go for 4 points. This sweet fruit is known as the peach of the tropics. Gene?
That's the mango.
The mango is correct for 4 points. Finally, for 5 points, the word peach comes from malum persicum, meaning apple of this empire. Gene?
Persian apple.
The Persian apple. Persian Empire is correct. Okay, 60-20. And before we go on to our second round, we have, of course, as always, our 5 3-point apiece Kaplan crowdsource potpourri. Here we go. For 3 points. Each of these is 3. The first computer to utilize a mouse was designed in 1973 by the Xerox company and named for this vocal range. The first computer to utilize a mouse was designed in 1973 by the Xerox company. Dom?
Alto.
The alto is correct. Peter Kerr sent us that one. The alto. You thought those were hard. Your peers have come up with some real tough ones during this whole tournament. Next, for 3 points. This TV show was the first non-sports program to command $2 million for a 30-second ad. It left the airwaves in 1998. This TV show was the first, Ethan?
Seinfeld?
Is correct. Bill Keevan sent us that one. Seinfeld is right for 3 points. 3 points coming up. If ultimate is synonymous with last, this adjective would mean next, Dom?
Penultimate.
Incorrect. We go to the blue team. You have a chance to steal. I'll give the entire clue. If ultimate is synonymous with last, this adjective would mean next to last.
Bob, our final answer is anti-penultimate.
Say again?
Hold on. Anti-penultimate.
Incorrect. I have to take it away. It is anti-penultimate. Penultimate was on anti-penultimate.
Okay.
Sorry.
I tried.
Okay, Luke Salava brought us that one. I had a feeling we might get the early wrong answer in there.
I just have to come off mute and say that was a real sneaky one, Bob.
It's the semifinal, Art. We're playing with the big boys. You all are the big boys. Okay, here we go. I take that as a compliment, actually, because I was hoping for ones that would be worthy of these two teams. Here we go for 3 points. Myth says that the Transcontinental Railroad connected coast to coast, but when the Golden Spike was hammered on May 10th, 1869, there was still a gap in Middle America across this river. Myth says that the Transcontinental Railroad connected coast to coast, but when the Golden Spike was hammered on May 10th, 1869, there still was a gap in Middle America across this river. 5 seconds. Time. No one wants to take a chance on it. In fact, 4 years later, they finally built the bridge over the Missouri River. The Missouri River was the gap. I thought that was so interesting that from Stephen Cross that we had to use that. Finally, for 3 points, the perennial symbol for the French Republic is the central figure of Liberty Leading the People, painted in 1830 by this man. The perennial symbol for the French Republic is the central figure of Liberty Leading the People. Ethan?
Delacroix?
Eugène Delacroix is correct for 3 points. Well done. And that was from Brian Holmes. Very good.
Glad I was out of buzzes because I would have guessed that one wrong.
Okay. The TPT taketh, but it also giveth from time to time, I guess. Very well done. Thank you to all those. Luke Salava, by the way, gave us anti-penultimate. Thank you to them. Wait till you hear what I got coming up for the final. Woo, I got 5 goodies. Okay, here we go now for the second half. We have the blue team, people not named Stuart K at 57, knowledge and missions 26. We will not have a tie, thank goodness, even though I'm prepared for same. And we will have a team that goes on to play Always a Bridesmaid in the final. Here we go. Good luck, teams. First category is bodies of water. Bodies of water for 2 points. The shallowest of the Great Lakes. It was the site of a, Melanie?
Lake Erie.
U.S. naval victory in 1813. Lake Erie is correct for 2 points. Bodies of water for 4. Rising on the Langres Plateau and heading for the capital, it's the second longest river in France. Jean?
The Seine?
The Seine is correct for 4 points. Bodies of water for 6. The name of this South American estuary means Silver River. Melanie?
Rio de la Plata.
Rio de la Plata is correct. And boy, was there controversy on that on the show. People were mispronouncing it like crazy. A lot of people lost money on that one. Well done. You are out of this category, however. For 8 points in bodies of water. The Burj Khalifa and Empire State Building combined are only 11% the height of this deepest ocean trench. Art?
The Marianas Trench.
That is right. The Marianas Trench is right. And isn't that interesting that combined those two buildings are just 11% of the depth? I thought that was interesting anyway.
I have seen the Burj Khalifa, and it's like ginormous.
I've been to the top of the Burj Khalifa, and
I didn't have enough money for that at the time, Bob. I was a student.
and all you could think of was Tom Cruise dangling from it.
I've listened to Wiz
Going
Khalifa.
down the track.
Crazy.
It was wild. Okay, for 10 points in bodies of water to wrap up the category. Once the name of a country. This is still the name of a lake in East Central Africa with a depth of over 4,700 feet. Gene?
Lake Tanganyika? Tanganyika.
Tanganyika is correct for 10 points. Okay. Next category, movie demises. Movie demises. For 2 points. In this 2010 Coen Brothers Western, Haley Steinfeld, Ethan?
True Grit.
As young Maddie finally catches up with Josh Brolin, True Grit is correct for 2 points. Movie demises for 4. In Legends of the Fall, it was a good death as he gets killed by the grizzly he wounded as a kid. In Legends of the Fall, it was a good death as he gets killed. Art?
Brad Pitt.
Triple stumper on the show. Correct. Brad Pitt suffered that good death. Terrible movie, but it was a good death. For 6 points in movie demises. That was a personal opinion, not a fact. This is a fact for 6 points. In 7 pounds, this actor gets in a bathtub with a deadly, Gene?
Well, Will Smith's the actor. I think it was a jellyfish. Will Smith.
I will accept Will Smith because that was the first thing you said, but I almost didn't. Just give the answer, please. Thank you. 6 points is correct. For 8 points. In this film, Dennis Hopper tells a Tarantino tale to Christopher Walken, who laughs but isn't really that amused. In this
I just buzzed in like 4 times and my buzzer didn't go. Is that happening to you too, Art?
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
We're all buzzing, but nothing's buzzing.
Give it a second. Hold on.
Do you have a substitution available, Bob? Because, yeah.
Do I have a substitution available?
Can we do a round of buzzer checks, please, Ethan?
Let's talk about a silly question.
Ethan? Guys, stop. All right, hold on. I think it's all catching up, so give it a second. Let's give it 30 seconds to see if the server reset. I'll see if Ermin's around and make sure everything's good. All right, let's try now. Ethan? Thank you. Dom? Liz? I'd lost somebody from...
Art's banished.
Is Art off the Zoom too? Or is he still on? No, Art's still on the Zoom. Art, can you just refresh your buzzer page and rejoin the game? Art, thank you.
Melanie needs to do
it. Refresh. Melanie's still here. Excellent. Gene? Travis? And Kat? All right. Melanie, can you just give me a test buzz? While we're here, can you refresh your buzzer, Melanie, to make sure? So you're going to ask to rejoin the game. You shouldn't have to type anything in again. There should be a cookie there for you. Excellent. All right. Should be good to go.
Okay. Actually, I wasn't that surprised that it was quiet because it was a triple stumper on the show. And the answer, of course, was True Romance. But we have to put in a substitution, and we shall. I had plenty of time to find it. And the category is Tales from Shakespeare, but that's spelled T-A-I-L-S. T-A-I-L-S, Tales from Shakespeare, for 8 points. In Henry VI, Part 1, Joan of Arc says, "Let frantic Talbot triumph for a while, and like this bird, sweep along his tail." In Henry VI, Part 1, Joan of Arc says, quote, "Let frantic Talbot triumph for a while, and like this bird, sweep along his tail." 5 seconds. Art.
Peacock.
Very good. 8 points. Like the peacock, sweep along his tail. Very, very well done. Okay, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Bloop, there we are. The category remains movie demises for 10 points.
Bob, sorry. Am I out of the category now? Because that was 2 questions, but that was a substitution.
It count. If you buzzed before, that counts as your 2, yes. Thank you for asking, though. That's very good. Okay, for 10 points, everybody but Art. In movie demises, Woody Harrelson kills Rodney Dangerfield in a fish tank. Gene?
Natural Born Killers.
In Natural Born Killers. Another triple stumper, by the way, for 10 points. Okay. Next category, medical matters. Medical matters for 2. A temporary loss of the voice is a symptom, Melanie?
Laryngitis.
Of this. Very good. That was bold and took a chance and it were paid off for 2 points. An inflammation of the mucous membrane of the voice box. It went on to say, yeah, I'm just as well. We didn't get to that. Okay, for 4 points. On a blood test, a level of 60 or above of this, the good cholesterol, is healthy. Gene?
That's the HDL.
HDL is correct for 4 points. For 6, medical matters, 6 points. From the Greek for stopper, it's a clot, as of fat or blood. Melanie?
Embolism.
That can get lodged in a blood vessel and obstruct it. You picked the damnedest questions.
My knowledge is weird.
They're icky. The next 2 get icky too, but you're out of them because you buzzed in twice. Okay, medical matters for 8. The adenoids are also called the pharyngeal V's. Art?
Tonsils.
That's right. Tonsils is right for 8 points. Finally, for 10 points, medical matters. It's the 2-word term for the birth defect in which the roof of the mouth fails to close. Gene?
Cleft palate.
Cleft palate is right for 10 points. Okay, our next, halfway through, 117 for the blue team, 56 for the red. Our next category, parts of a whole. Parts of a whole. That's WHOLE, parts of a whole. For 2 points. Chin rest, scroll, bridge. Dom?
Violin.
Triple stumper on the show. Violin is correct for 2 points. Parts of a whole for 4. Buoyancy compensator, emergency regulator, purge valve, air tank. Ethan?
Scuba tank?
Say what?
Like a scuba tank.
Cannot accept. Cannot accept. We'll go to the blue team. Buoyancy compensator, emergency regulator, purge valve, air tank.
We're going to say scuba gear, final answer.
Scuba gear. Yes, I'm sorry. Since the word tank was in the clue, I had to go for the scuba gear. My apologies on that, but them's the rules. Okay, for 6 points. Parts of a whole. Rotor blade, skid. Art?
Helicopter.
That's right for 6 points. Helicopter. Well, the third part was horizontal stabilizer. Now for 8 points. If that previous response gets in big trouble, brake loop, canopy, stabilizer. Melanie.
A parachute.
That is right. Parachute for 8 points. Finally, parts of a whole for 10. Winds, dragons, season tiles. Melanie?
A mahjong game, a mahjong set.
Mahjong set is right for 10 points. Okay. Our next category, presidential addresses. Presidential addresses. Okay. These are all quotes, by the way. So imagine air quotes around each clue. for 2 points. If there's one thing that has unified Democrats and Republicans, it's that we all hated the bank bailout. Gene?
That was Obama.
That was Barack Obama. A triple stumper, by the way. I guess everybody would say that. Here we go for 4 points, presidential addresses. 5 years ago, our college campuses were a battleground. 5 years ago, Melanie?
Tricky Dick Nixon.
Tricky Dick Nixon? I'll accept for 4 points. I think that's the only way you can accept them. Here we go for 6 points. We must guard against feverish building of vast armaments to meet glibly, Dom?
Eisenhower.
Predicted moments of maximum peril. That's right. His warning against the military-industrial complex. 6 points is right. For 8 points, presidential addresses is the category. Mr. Sam Rayburn is gone. Neither this house nor the nation is the same without him. Gene?
JFK.
Kennedy is correct, and you are out of this category for the last clue for 10 points. I know Congress had to invite me, and it could have been a close vote. So, Mr. VP, I appreciate your being here to break the tie. Melanie?
W. George W. Bush.
George W. Bush is right. Triple stumper on the show. Okay, our final category is ends in RE, not ER. Ends in RE, not ER. You'll get the hang of it for 2 points. Slaughter ends in ER. This other word for the killing of many ends in RE. Art?
Feels like this match. Massacre.
Massacre, or as Yosemite Sam would have it, massacre. That's correct for 2 points. For 4 points, the name of this man-eating fairy tale monster was popularized, Dom?
Ogre.
By French author Charles Perrault. I'm not going to lose an opportunity to overpronounce French. Ogre is correct for 4. For 6, composed of calcium carbonate and conchiolin, it creates the iridescent effect attributed to pearls. Ethan?
Nacre.
Nacre is right. Triple stumper on the show, by the way. I almost got stumped by conchiolin. For 8 points, sorry. The Tyndale Bible translated a Greek passage meaning shameful gain as filthy this. Dom?
Lucre.
Filthy lucre is right for 8 points. And finally, for 10 points, this quality of sound distinguishes it from, Ethan?
Timber.
Timber is right, or timbre. That is correct. But knowledge admissions with 96, a winning score by almost any other standard, falls to 6 people, not named Stuart K, at 163. So 6 people. You will be going up against always a bridesmaid at the yet to be determined final. Knowledge admissions did a great job all the way through the tournament. Excellent teams. Thank you so much. We look forward to the final, and we'll see